Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. It is I, Obsidia, the DM of this campaign, Nexus, Forlorn Legacy. As is tradition, we are going to be doing round the table introductions before a brief session recap and before we hop right into it. Also, for all of you out there, I hope you all are having wonderful holidays and that you find some comfort and some warmth and some cheer because we came bringing the queer. Speaking of queer, B, are you finished chewing?
Nope, not
Okay,
yet.
we're gonna do B last. So first up we have Meris.
Hello, everyone. I'm Meris. I am a storytelling dragon VTuber. I do comfy cozy book reading streams. I also run my own D&D slash Good Society mashup campaign called The Trial of Hearts. I do that every other Wednesday. It's super fun. Y'all should stop by sometime. But for now, I'm playing the party's hot pink fae tiefling himbo werewolf man, and I'm always looking forward to a good time where I can just throw my brain cells in the garbage and just be a silly little guy.
Exactly. You guys should go check out his new campaign. It's very high society, and many people are in their breeding arc.
Oh,
True.
So, but yes, thank you, Maris. Next up, we have Sif.
hi, it's me, Sif underscore the VTuber. Living sort of armor. I play games. I do art. Looking to open up commissions next year. I also run Curse of Strahd, which is on a hiatus till the next year. But yeah, I don't have much else. Excited to play as Nafisa again with her little dog Nyx. Merry Christmas Eve. I love you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sif. And next up, we got Silly Lily.
That'll be my tag this time.
Yep.
Sounds good. Hello, everyone. My name is Lily. I'm a little amateur artist that draws D&D and general trans experience stuff. I'm very excited to be hopping back into Nexus as always, and to hopefully, do a little flirting because that's what we do when we play the himbo bimbo buddy cop drama, right?
Excellent. Thank you, Lily B. Have you finished eating?
I have, thank you.
Well, it is now your turn.
Hello. My name is Beatrix Bunny. I'm a streamer who does variety stuff, though I tend to focus on roguelikes, RPGs, and digital artwork. Honestly, I don't really have much to advertise or promote right now. Most of what I'm doing for long-term projects probably won't be starting up again until the new year. So if you're interested in tabletop campaigns with some, well, honestly, with anything that isn't just D&D or Pathfinder, no shade, but if you want to shake the variety up a little bit, I'm trying to run at least a couple of those in the new year. Other than that, I'm going to be playing Feng-chen, and I am your theater gay for the evening.
Thank you, B. Yes, you should also go check out B. I am one of her players in a non D&D campaign of the game Deadlands, where I play a wacky sorceress lady. It's a good time. Not to be confused with the not wacky sorceress lady I play in Sif's Curse of Strahd game.
They're
Just a
both
little
special.
wacky. Just a little.
Slight amounts of whack.
God
But yes,
forbid a girl be silly. Sorry.
Thank you, everyone. Previously on Nexus Forlorn Legacy, our heroes engaged in a bit of intimate team building exercises before returning to the Dragon Mansion, where they were
They
given.
fucked. Just to be clear for anyone who's coming in fresh to this series, they fucked.
Correct.
Yes, we had a 4-session hookup.
It
And
will happen again.
oh. And then they were given a brief questionnaire by the quote unquote dragon moms of Ludus, otherwise known as Lady Stella and Lady Celeste, who were giving some questions about the background and intentions of the party before passing them over to their major domo, everyone's favorite little kobold, Zelik Karen, who brought them into her office and gave them a brief mission explanation before providing them some resources to go to the neighboring country's city of Coordinata in the Kingdom of Casil, still within the United Federation of Allied States, where they are to do a heist. In part, this is to retrieve an ancient artifact that has a strong emotional significance to the Dragon Moms, and had belonged to the previous military dictatorship in charge of what is now the Eisenstadt. And apparently, when the revolution occurred there, some of the former government officials fled with various treasures, artifacts, and resources of the regime and went into hiding. And apparently, one of them had gone into hiding in Coordinata and was recently discovered by the intelligence service of the Federation known as Misericord, where he was promptly tried and executed for his misdeeds. Now, his son, who is now the current ruling count of the city, has agreed to hand over all of the items back to the Eisenstadt government, and so is hosting a grand gala at his estate as kind of a charity fundraiser for the children of the revolution, for basically orphans in the Eisenstadt, as well as a last hurrah before the items are returned. So this is a rare window for our heroes to apprehend the item in particular, which is a dragon skull, approximately the size of a semi, which was basically like 20 feet long and about 10 feet high. And they were given a orb of containment, which is essentially a Pokeball, to shrink it so they could be able to actually leave with it with limited issues, and a stone of recall that is, once they get outside of the anti-teleportation enchantments of the city, they can just basically warp back to the Dragon Mom's mansion in Venonia. So they arrived in Coordinata, a agricultural center of northern Casil, where they began their initial casing and plans for the operation. Feng-chen, fairly easily, based on her own culinary background, was able to secure a low-paying catering job that would give her access to the estate on the day of the gala. Aurora was able to go to a high-end dress shop where she learned some information about the wife of the Count and has reserved for a 300 credit dress to help look the part if she attends the party. And Nafisa and Soleil went to go case the estate itself, where they saw everyone beginning to set stuff up. They saw that the fencing around the estate had some kind of what appears to be dormant enchantments laced into it. So Nafisa took some pictures of that, as well as we learned the deep and fascinating lore of the ground squirrels around this estate and their now immensely traumatized view of the potential for tree-based wolves. But by talking to one of the squirrels and looking through his eyes, they got a bit of a view of the outer area of the state, and in particular saw the portion of the estate that is likely leads to where the skull is stored in the lowest basement sections. So they were able to gain that information. And then finally, as Nafisa was relaying everything that she had learned to Soleil, one thing stood out, that the various armed guards that were moving about this estate and were seemingly the security for the event itself belonged to an organization known as the Blood Wolves, a band that our dear Soleil has a bit of history with and might form a complication. So without further ado, we start off with Soleil. Soleil, you just learned this. What do you do with your life?
Am I still with Nafisa? Or are we
Yeah,
just
you
sort of
can-
like,
Hi.
You can fast forward, past like returning away from the estate if you want. If you wanted to do something where you
just 'cause
currently
I think-
are.
not particularly think this is information that is relevant to the party as a whole. So I think once the two of them meet back up with the rest of the party, I think Soleil will just inform them that there may be a slight complication getting into this party. Not for any of you, lovely ladies, but for myself. You see, those the guards that are at the front door of this establishment definitely know me, or at least know of me.
Are they like your
And,
friends? Are you worried you'll get distracted?
No,
Oh wait, no, you told
we're
Nafisa. Never mind. Was it Daisy?
yeah we are not friendly. May or may not have killed some of them before.
Elaborate.
Well, when I first got here, being to your plane, as I was traveling, I came across a band of them. They jumped me in the middle of the night. They were not very happy, and they attacked me, so I killed them.
I mean,
Most of them.
is that like a? I mean, you acted in self-defense, and also, do you think they'd really jeopardize their job to attack a potential guest of the party?
Well, maybe not, but they certainly won't let me in, at the very least.
Mm.
Just to make it very clear, I spent a little while talking to a fine tailor, and this party is a highfalutin affair. I don't think you're going to be able to get in there with no shirt on, no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Why not?
Yeah, my dad doesn't wear a shirt either, and he's been to lots of places.
Oh, Soleil,
Yeah,
surely,
I've been to fancy places.
surely the balls in the Feywild are some fancy to do with beautiful gowns and everything like that.
Sure, but I don't wear them. I
Oh.
still go.
I see. Hmm.
So these people, do they know? Do they know your face? Because honestly, we don't know your face either.
No, they won't know my face. I was still masked upon our meeting, but I'm sure my other dashing physical qualities will give me away.
Well,
Anything,
I
yeah.
suppose that leaves us one of two options. Either we can go the route of trying to procure something, perhaps a spell scroll or something of the like, to enable him to blend in. Or we could simply find a role of infiltration that does not require something like that. Perhaps has anyone figured out how exactly they are sourcing their blood fighters?
That is something I'm curious about. Because it strikes me as kind of odd that these kind of fellas are working a gig like this. They strike me more as more like the bounty hunting type, or at least the ones that I ran into were So
I mean,
it
the
seems strange to be guarding a fancy party.
the whole. I mean, the history of this place is kind of a little shady, a little muddy as well. So kind of fits right in that way, but in not so good of a way. Potentially something to use.
Hmm.
Speaking of infiltrate and stuff, Nafisa and I we scouted the perimeter, and Nafisa snapped some pictures of some wards that are across the property. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. That ain't my expertise. So if one of you more magically inclined ladies wanted to take a look at it,
Of course,
it could be something.
I think between the two of us, we could figure this out.
Here do you go. Here do you go. If he's will hand him the photos and the rest of like the drawings of the inside of the house that she was able to, the drawings that she was able to take from the squirrel's vision and stuff.
So, do you guys want to roll separately or give one of you advantage?
Do you
Um,
have a +6 on this?
I have a +7 on Arcana.
Well, then I will give you help action then.
Okay.
I think you both roll. You're not considering the advantage of having two separate lucks. That's just my take. That's just my take.
Fair enough.
It's up to you guys. Do you want to have advantage or roll
I'm
separately?
gonna
I'm
give
good
help
either way.
action because Aurora like knows magic, but probably not to the same level that Feng does.
Oh, I mean, I think they have. Well, I mean, +6,
We
+7.
both have
They
a
have
very
like a
weird.
roughly equivalent,
Yeah.
just in different.
We have a
Like
very
magic's a very
different way
complicated
of
thing. You
looking
can
at
view it a
magic.
lot of different ways.
Go ahead.
All right. It's a 16.
Okay. You guys, this is a photo, so there's only so much you can glean looking at the enchantments themselves, just basically seeing a rune and trying to figure out what it might signify. With a 16, you are able to determine that it, especially with Aurora's kind of knowledge about layering magic and stuff, there appears to be a layered set of enchantments on this fencing that are dormant currently. Presumably, they are contingency triggered off of probably somebody trying to cross the fence. But you don't know the full extent of the enchantments on them just based on looking at a picture. If you probably saw it in person and or if you had like detect magic going on or something, you could probably get a better idea. But you can tell at the surface level is an alarm spell. So there is at least an alarm spell on the fencing, and you can tell that there is more, but you cannot tell any more than that based on looking at this photo.
Well, they definitely got some sort of security put in this thing.
That was our thinking.
Well, I will have access relatively soon to the facility myself. I can certainly try to see if I can get a closer look at this. Does it look like this word is continued through the parts that don't have the intended gateways, or is it?
Well, Nafisa didn't take photos of the entire estate fence, but you could tell that for the portions that she did take, the fencing themselves, the gateway has enchantments on it, but presumably when it's open, they don't trigger because that would be incredibly expensive to deal with. So if the gate is open, Nafisa and Soleil did see people coming and going from the place to set stuff up. There clearly is at least something that prevents it from always activating, but the entire fence line that are in photos have these kind of enchantments on them.
Here's what I'm thinking. There is an alarm spell, yes, but during the night of the party, I imagine it'll be isolated purely to the fence area to make sure nobody sneaks over. But sneaking in is a different story. Having a whole castle protected by dispel magic or shit like that be would be a lot. I wager we could probably get in there being invisible, just going through the main entrance. It's not like they can detect with an alarm spell if someone is invisible or not. There's gonna be a lot of people passing through there.
You mentioned making Soleil invisible, yeah?
I could, yeah.
I can sneak in with the crowd, I think.
Now, Nafisa, when you were snooping around as a squirrel, did you only see these blood wolf fellas at the front door? Did you see any inside?
I couldn't get a good look inside. Squirrel eyes do not magnify well. I saw the door, but there was no one by the secret door that I found. Which is
My only concern is once we're inside, if there's more of these guys around, that still poses a problem.
I was
Certainly.
thinking, I mean, normally, right, at these big get-togethers, food is coming in and out, right? I mean, if Feng knows where the deliveries are going, we could sneak in too, like in a box.
Wait, hold
Oh,
on.
certainly. I do have.
Have to be a pretty big box.
Oh, you would be surprised. I do
Meris
have
will,
means of some bag of holdings.
Fong, are you strong enough to carry Soleil?
We could
I'd be
walk.
mighty impressed.
I'm strong enough to carry 15 pounds, which is all that he would need weigh.
Oh, hold on, hold on a second.
Oh, can I back it up a little bit? Nafisa, you said there was a door being guarded, and that was likely the entrance to the holding area.
I mean, like the vault area. I mean, I found a spooky door that made the squirrel freak out, but there was nobody guarding it. It was probably just, it trapped with magic or something.
My thought was the two of us, while invisible, myself and Soleil, could just kind of go to that area and just kind of, get out.
Okay. How long does your invisibility last?
An hour.
You see Nafisa looking at like the shoddy like map she made of the building from the outside, and like circled the part of the entrances and circled the part where the supposed vault is. We still don't know for sure if that's the vault.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like not clear to get there. Do you think you two could explore the entire dimension within an hour? You would need breaks to recast, right?
Oh, I mean, potentially, but we got a whole extra day, and, well, Funk's got access, well, at least into part of the building. I think, Fung, if you could, see how much you can see?
I can certainly try.
I
Yeah,
think that.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, get a bit more information on if there's anything that looks suspicious, and these, what were they, bloodhounds?
Blood wolves.
Blood wolves, sorry. I may have sold them a little short. They probably like
Now,
being called wolves.
what exactly are these blood wolves capable
Oh,
of?
I have no idea. I only know they don't like me too much.
Nafisa did see that they did have firearms like pistols in shoulder holsters in their suits. So they at least have that.
I don't think it would be safe for us to fight them. I mean, like we could probably, fight them, but like not without getting hurt a lot.
That being said, if absolutely worse comes to worse, mind tripping that wire intentionally.
Oh, you mean at the fence? Sorry, your the words weren't working for a little bit there, so we didn't hear the full plan.
Just that I can intentionally set the spell off.
Uh,
The warden
w-
spell.
you mean the one on the fence, or?
Yeah, draw them out.
But Aurora wants you to go in with her, so I could do it.
I'm just saying. Worst case scenario, if y'all can't figure out a way to get me in, I can at least make it easier for y'all.
Hmm.
I can get out without a second thought. It's no problem. pretty much from no matter where I am. Believe me, I've done enough breaking and entering in my time. Oh, did I never mention that? Yeah, I've stolen a lot. A
Oh,
lot of
you're like a
things.
master thief.
I don't say that.
So
But
what do you think we should do?
appreciate your modesty, Aurora. However, given what I understand of your financial situation, I would have been very surprised if you were not a thief.
I I don't really know how to take that, if I'm being honest.
It means you are
Complimentary.
really good.
See, I mean, really, the biggest thing I've ever stolen is just like some groceries, but pretty easy.
Big enough.
Oh,
Big
nothing,
enough.
nothing semi-truck sized.
Nothing semi truck sized.
Just
Hmm.
asking.
Yeah, well, I must say, I feel like I managed to get the least bit of information out of the whole bunch of us.
Did you
But,
get the
Now,
fancy address?
well, I mean, I'm not paying $300 for a dress. If anything, I'm going to steal that too.
Oh, do you need
Wow.
$300? Fucking Nafisa just pulls out $300.
No, no, don't spend $300 on me.
Why not?
It If I'm going to be invisible the whole time, there's no reason for me to be seen in such a gorgeous dress.
But
I
you're
won't
gonna
be
steal
seen.
it anyways.
Uh, I don't exactly know if I should commit some crimes beforehand in this town. It might raise the little security level.
Yeah, so just
hmm,
buy it.
No, I'm not. I will not buy this dress with your money,
It's
Nafisa.
our money. We made it together.
No, it's just not something I'm willing to do.
Mm, I don't know. It would have been an asset for the heist. It would have been an investment for the job.
It's not necessary for the job from what way things are looking.
Oh, but Aurora, what if you have to recast your invisibility and then you're just standing there all sheepishly and oh that was a pun. Um but don't you
I can recast it
instantly?
pretty much 6 seconds, if that.
6 seconds you are there and then gone.
I can do it right now if you want.
I mean, I'm just worried. Here, just take it anyways in case you can get the more rewards out of that
No,
tailor. I mean, you have to see them again, right?
no, I don't have to see them again.
Isn't that rude?
Probably, but they can handle it.
they are in the business of working with people with less than adequate manners.
Mm.
I appreciate your generosity, but just if you know one thing about me, I don't like taking favors from other people anymore.
Okay. I mean, it's not really a favor if it's for the job, but I understand.
No. Let us see here. We know that this section of the manse, it is very suspicious. But given the master of the house in question, it may well simply be that he has his fingers in many less than legal pies. Meaning, even if we do not find it, we may very well find something troubling in and of itself there. But best case scenario, you find it easily there.
I think Soleil,
Mhm.
should we go and try and get more information on these blood wolves?
I definitely think that would be beneficial. If it isn't too distracting from the main goal, that is. I mean, I know we're trying to get in, but just I don't know. Something about them being here strikes me as kind of odd.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe they're like us, you know? They do stuff for money.
Everybody does stuff for money.
And it could just be that simple, but I don't know. If they're willing to jump a guy in the middle of the forest, I feel like they're not just here for guarding some rich guy's guests.
Okay, then. So tomorrow you two can learn about the Blood Wolves. Feng will find out information from her to work. Maybe I should find another way in.
You do know that, from your experience in the restaurant business, that it is unlikely the caterers will be on site tomorrow. The people who are currently there are the ones who are just like setting up stuff, like the tables and the arena and stuff for the boxing exhibition and all that. So it would likely only have the caterers come on the day of the gala. Just as an FYI.
All right. Let's see.
I think someone should look into that boxing exhibition. I feel like there's something to use in that.
Before we depart for gathering more information, however, as much as it pains me to ask you to cover up a work of art, it would perhaps be in your best interest to try something more subtle.
Are you talking to Soleil?
Yes.
So, like, more subtle, so, like...
Not even a disguise, per se. Never underestimate the simple power of different clothing and a different way of carrying oneself.
Do you own any other clothing?
Hey, I could show up just buck-ass naked, like...
I'm assuming we're like talking in one of our like we rented out an inn and everything. We're meeting in one of the rooms right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a blanket and throw it over Soleil. I mean, nothing beats a cloak, right?
We need disguises.
Yeah, but like,
what would be the clothing, Soleil, that would be least likely for you to be seen in?
Hell, he's like 7 feet tall.
He is a 7-foot tall man with antlers who wears a very distinctive skull. There are several things besides his garb that make him stand out on his own.
Yeah, I think my perfect pecs are the least of our problems.
Maybe we could put him in something, like too distracting, like a new detail to distract from the other big details, like a big belt or big shoes.
Cloud arc.
I was just picturing clown shoes.
Put some fucking little squeezy balls on your antlers.
For the entertainment.
Something more draping would be good. I don't imagine you are anywhere close to your shedding season.
What time of year is it right now?
It's like
what time of year
summer.
is it?
Yeah, no, I still got a bit.
Are you
How attached are you to your antlers?
Literally.
So Feng, you're mentioning disguises tomorrow, so when they're learning about the blood wolves, they don't get scared or jumped or anything, right?
But my concern is if these wolves are so tightly knit a pack as to hold bad blood for our dear Soleil here, that they may very well recognize him in one form or another.
Well, I mean, what are they going to do? Attempt to murder him out in the open streets?
Certainly.
This is the Federation.
You think that can't go over well?
Well, if they're not from around here either.
No. The armed guard of the leading head of this entire area murders a random civilian on the street.
To be fair, I'm not exactly a civilian.
I suppose you aren't exactly a civilian.
And
I mean, I'm just a refugee, but
they could probably cover it up and say that Soleil did kill some of them anyways, right?
Yep.
I mean, if push comes to shove, if shit goes down tomorrow, I can get us out of there. You have to trust me in that one.
Yeah, that's fine.
When the
But
night comes, it sounds like it's gonna be invisible anyways.
mm,
How many people
oh,
can you turn invisible?
2 at a
Two.
time.
Fung's already got a way in. How are we getting Nafisa in?
yeah, I'll figure that out tomorrow. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Worst
Maybe
case, I can sneak her in with the food.
in the worst case, I can just sneak in with the people. It's really easy. I've been doing a lot on my travels.
You sneak parties often?
Sometimes Jacob wants to go into like sections of libraries that like we would need paperwork to get into. So I do my little she like waves her fingers and then we just walk in.
Hmm. Out of curiosity, would it be possible to do some minor shopping beforehand?
Yeah, if you want to shop for stuff.
Because I mean, I'm looking at my money out of character, and I definitely have more than enough to just pick up a hat of disguise that we could use as a party.
That could work.
I feel like you're
Mm,
offended by the idea of covering up yourself.
Well, no, because I'd be invisible, so the hat might work for Nafisa to disguise herself
Oh,
as
fair enough.
a fancy person. Not that you
oh,
ain't fancy, Nafisa,
I mean, I would still need an invitation though.
but if you disguise yourself as someone with an invitation,
Could the
That
hat make an
That's not how
invitation?
the hat works.
no, but like you can say that as someone who was invited, you lost your invitation or something.
I would need their voice too, right? The hat doesn't cover my
Hmm.
voice, does it? Maybe if I put the mouth, like she like puts her scarf over her mouth, and maybe if I put the hat over my.
I'm glad Bane is attending this party. Oh yes, I am invited. It will be your reckoning.
we'll call it a head cold. You won't talk much.
Hmm. I think I will look for the options. Maybe. Don't worry.
Okay,
We'll figure something out tomorrow.
you've all relayed your info. You have a rough synopsis. We're gonna have the night of planning prep 1 wrap up and begin day 2 of planning prep. So first up, we're gonna do Soleil gang. Soleil, what do you want to do?
I think Soleil, with Aurora in tow, we're going to go investigate more about the blood wolves
Okay.
and why specifically they are here. So, I guess the best place to do I guess the best place to do that would be wherever there's gossip. I mean, the fancy folk would be talking about it, like why are these people the ones to guard them, and what else could they be hiding? But I imagine the regular people who aren't invited might have something to say about it too.
I also have a thought of the local guard. Why isn't the local guard guarding
That's true.
the locals?
That's true. Can you just walk up to guards and talk to them?
Uh, you and I, you and I are both wanted criminals, aren't we?
Only in some places.
Oh,
Did Soleil tell Aurora that he's wanted?
they said the murder, so
Yeah.
He
that's what she's going off of.
So assuming for the Blood Wolf killings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I can go with that.
But so maybe that's not. I could disguise myself for that kind of thing, probably. But let's talk to the people, and then I do think we should talk to the guards, or I should talk to the guards. See if we can
Okay.
get some information. It can't
All right.
hurt.
Okay,
So
sorry, Soleil, you
no,
first.
You go ahead.
Okay. So, first up, do you want to talk to a cop or do you want to do gathering generalized information?
I think while Aurora's talking to cops, I can do some intel gathering amongst the people.
Okay. Make a persuasion roll.
Yes, ma'am. 16.
Not bad. And then Aurora, you just walk up to the first cop you see.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just do like a quick like alter self to sort of change my features into that of oh shoot. I'm blanking on my lore. What is this area? What would be the predominant race if there is one?
There isn't necessarily a predominant race.
Okay.
The only thing you do know is that the royal family and a lot of the aristocracy are orc based, but that's about
Okay.
it.
You just click the randomize.
your
Yeah.
your Skyrim random character maker.
Yeah. I'm gonna then I would probably turn at least half orc.
Okay.
Just a simple half orc female and just kind of walk up to the guards and start and I'm thinking about what I'm going to say, but I assume you'll tell me what to roll.
Yeah, so you're walking through the streets. As you're walking through the streets, you do see a police officer. You know, he's part of the gendarme for the city, wearing a blue, military style uniform with gold like brocade notes on it, shield over one of the shoulders. And he's got like a baton and like a pistol at his hips, and he's kind of walking, just apparently doing a fairly, bored, street walking cop patrol. And he turns to look at you and goes, "Oh, hello, miss. Is there something I can help you with?"
I'm sorry to just say this, but I can't help but be a little bit disgusted by these barbarians they seem to have guarding the palace instead of a loyal defense force and yourselves. It just rubs me the wrong way. Is there any why didn't they choose the locals? It seems strange.
Make a deception or persuasion roll.
Okay, it's equal, so 19.
All right, not
Okay.
bad, not bad. This is just a generic,
Yeah.
human male cop and stuff. He goes, you're telling me, the 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 mayor felt like it was, since it's a private affair, that the gendarme should, not be managing the direct, personal defense of the count. Ever since the Reformation, they've been pretty emphatic about ensuring the aristocracy are not directly commanding, cops like us. But
It's just I mean, you've heard the rumors about them jumping and murdering people out in the streets. It's just I don't exactly feel safe going to this party knowing that they make any wrong turn and they could just deem me a villain.
oh yes, from I'm obviously no expert on this, but from everything I've heard, the Blood Wolves have contracts across the Federation. They're one of the largest free companies operating around. I find it surprising that they would be assailing people in the streets. There's the government of Casil pays them for some work. I don't think you should be concerned about your safety. I feel like the Count is definitely not going to put ne'er do wells in charge of this after what happened to his father.
I suppose there's just people gossip, hearing these bad stories about the blood wolves and given everything that our lovely town has been through. It's just People talk and people worry. I just don't want there to be another incident given the history.
I wouldn't worry, miss. There'll be some off-duty gendarme present, doing some ancillary security since the mayor will be attending. But, for everything I understand, Bloodwolves perfectly professional. They get what they need done, and if they somehow fail in their task, well, they always escalate it. That's kind of their shtick. But after the assassination in Tyrol, I think that most people in positions of wealth and significance are wary of being left to their own devices. So,
fair enough. Have a lovely day.
You too, miss.
And just walk off.
Yep. Soleil, so you're asking just generalized gather information and stuff.
Yeah.
What is like your top 3 questions?
I think, what do you know about, just in general, what do you know about the Bloodwolves? Like, what's their shtick? Who's like the head of security, or seems at least to be in charge of everything. And then I don't want to repeat things that Aurora's already asked, but I think he would also be curious to know, from a variety of perspectives, why an outside force was brought in to protect the party,
Gotcha.
the ongoings inside.
With the 16, most people don't really know who the Bloodwolves are, nor do they know that they're doing the security for the party, since most people have no relationship to this party. But there are a couple people who go, oh yeah, the Bloodwolves, they're one of the big free companies operating in the Federation. The term free company doesn't really have any significance to you from where you're from, but people treat it like it's kind of like an institution in a way. They say, yeah, they're one of the big ones. I've heard they do security, they do bounty hunting, they do operations all across. They're majorly involved in the Erixian, reconstruction, stuff like that. They're a pretty big organization, several thousand members. So that's the kind of the rough thing that people know about the Bloodwolves.
Gotcha.
It's like if you ask like random people on the street, hey, what do you know about Blackwater? It's like, I don't know.
Gotcha.
And then they for the head of security, nobody knows who the Bloodwolf management is, because obviously most people don't even know who the fuck the Bloodwolves are here.
Right.
But the chief of security to the Count is a human male named Hernan. And he is just the personal security chief of the Count and the Count's household, basically. And he's tasked with presumably arranging the personal security of the Count and his family. So there's that. And then the third, for a group of outsiders, nobody really knows how, nobody really is being invited to this that you're talking to. There is talk, there's gossip about how, a bit of overlap with Aurora about how after the murder / assassination in Tyrol, a month or two ago, people, a lot of nobles and other rich people are very concerned about personal security, and considering that the cops are all well and good and all, but they can't exactly do everything that maybe various rich people require. So you are very aware of probably what these people are talking about with the murder assassination in Tyrol.
What do you mean? I'm sure there won't be a strange beast breaking and entering into anyone's offices around here.
Yeah. People do say it's like, yeah, man, I heard that there was this like fucking 10-foot tall like werewolf that came bursting in and tore him apart, and I heard it was an Eryxian, sleeper agent and all kinds of stuff like that. But it was just wild speculation that people have heard. So.
He is not saying anything about the incident, but if they could see his face, he is preening hearing all of these stories. All right, cool.
So that is what the two of you have learned respectively.
All right. Meeting back up with Aurora. What was the name that you gave me, the spelling on that? The head of security?
It is Hernan, Hernan. Like Hernan Cortez.
Gotcha. Okay. So I don't forget writing it down. Well, seems most folks don't know much about these blood wolves, only that they're something called a checks notes free company.
Aurora, make a history check.
Okay.
You you just make a history. I'm not giving you advantage on it.
That's fine. 17.
17. You know what free companies are. The best way to say it is it's probably a middle ground between a mercenary band and a private military contractor. They're kind of like legal mercenary groups that are registered with the Federation government, which gives them various legal protections, kind of like an LLC of killing people. So, like, because adventuring is not really as much a thing in the Federation anymore, since they essentially unionized and became the Justicari centuries ago, a lot of the more troubleshooting style armed tasks are kind of handled by free companies, which can range from basically the four of you guys all the way up to, thousands of people. It's just kind of the stage short of being an actual, corporation.
Like it's the government, but it's not the government in that way that it's disconnected enough that they can say, oh, well,
it's kind of like licensed. You're a licensed killer.
Yeah.
The government acknowledges you and you get legal protections for that. You get basically contract offenses. There's actual recourse if your employer burns you or doesn't want to pay you and stuff. And it makes you eligible to get, government contracts and everything. But, the trade-off is, they probably still also hire people who aren't free companies, to pay them under the table and do things they don't want to be legally tied to. But yeah, the free company institution is very common in the Federation, especially with the reduction in military personnel after the conclusion of the Eryxian War.
Yeah. So I think Aurora would just be like, oh, okay. That sort of rings true with what I heard. The Blood Wolves apparently like this big old national organization that kind of, hunt, provide security, whatever, to anybody that needs it. I'm sure any rich person that needs it. I doubt many regular folk can afford their services. But it's just they're just some big hoity-toity, basically mercenary group. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They would say it's not, but So
you seem a little perturbed by this new information.
It's. I guess I'm worried that they're after my back too.
Why would they be after you?
What? Yeah, the stealing.
I don't think these guys are going after petty thieves. No offense.
I mean, there's a bit more to it than that, but a bit of a debt. But I don't know. Either way, what I gathered was cops aren't exactly happy about it, but there do seem to be some cops also in the employ, so it's kind of like a mixed thingy.
Hmm. Well,
So, what I've gathered is that this is, despite, well, them literally jumping you in the middle of the night, they seem to be a pretty professional organization. Therefore, we can rely on them treating this in a professional manner. They ain't just
yeah.
gonna evoke a bloodbath on
Man, I
set.
almost wish they were a little more nefarious. That would make my job a lot easier.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, they do work with the Caecilian government. Doesn't get much more official than that.
Hmm. Well, I guess we're going with your plan of going invisible then.
I think it'll work, but I'm kind of scared that that's our plan. You know?
I don't know. Seems a decent plan to me. In and out, invisible. What's there to be worried about?
Fair enough. We just need to find this place. What if it's not that door?
I think, based off of Nafisa's squirrel vision, that's the best lead we've got. I don't know where else anyone would keep a large magical dragon skull in their house, but
Yeah,
behind a vault.
fair enough. Let's rendezvous back.
Okay. Nafisa, is there anything you want to do today for prep work?
Okay, Nafisa needs a way in. We don't have to do a whole RP thing because I know we want to also get into the party tonight. Question one, is there a local paper looking for a photographer?
You know, Peter Parker this?
Okay, that wasn't what I was thinking of, but yeah, no, I'm gonna Peter Parker this.
All right, odd or even?
Hit me with even.
Even. There just so happens to be
Let's go.
the the Escudo Gazette is the local fucking coordinata paper, and they have been looking for a photographer for apparently several months after their previous photographer retired to go live on an island. And so they do have an open position. It pays 5 credits a week.
That sucks!
Wait, someone retired to an island off that fucking salary? Are you shitting?
You don't know any more
See,
context behind it.
They stopped having their avocado toast. That's
Yeah.
how they were able to do it.
Real.
You don't know any of the context
once the
around
expensive retiree leaves, that's when you bring in the unpaid interns.
it. Yeah.
I would like to start the assignment.
So it's a
Yeah,
5 credit, week job to be a photographer for the Gazette. Do you wish to apply for it?
I mean, I'd like to negotiate a commission a commission position. Perhaps I take photos, I give them, you pay me, and then that'll be that. I mean, as long as you
Make a
whoever
persuasion
gets me
roll.
in that. All right, get me into that gala. All right. Can Nix help me?
Your dog cannot help you persuade him.
Damn. All right.
Damn,
Nix
Nafisa
is
really
not
brought her dog to
proficient
the
in
job
persuasion.
interview.
17.
I like
Y'all
the idea of this dog just yapping in Draconic. And you're like, what the fuck are you saying? I find it oddly
You
assistant.
You have
Support
not
dog.
gotten hired, however, Nix has.
Nix has a college degree, Nafisa doesn't. No, I have a resume. I have a portfolio. My friend told me to say, and just shows photos, and that's like her entire persuasion is just showing her work.
All the selfies.
Well, she takes some. She's taking some scenic shots.
Of the estate. No, but yeah, so you show it off, and the guy kind of goes, well, this is pretty good work. You drive a hard bargain. We can do, there's this big gala happening tomorrow, and I can get you in. However, this is a very beginning opportunity for you here. We're going to give you a lot of exposure, so I want you to consider that in light of your potential payments here. So we can give you, 10 credits for the gala itself. And we're going to definitely give you the on-the-job training that will help you advance in this career. And that's really invaluable in its own right.
Nafisa feels the creeping feeling of capitalism but doesn't understand it. Okay.
All right. So you'll get some press credentials to take some fucking photos at the gala.
Hell yeah, it was just that easy. Just that easy to get away into 50-50 coin flip.
Incredible.
Thank you, Dobbs.
All right. Feng what do you want to do?
I was thinking about it, and I feel like just within the future it will also be useful, so I think I will go in on investing in a head of disguise first.
Okay.
Beyond that, I think that I would like to spend today, if there's any kind of correspondence that I need to do with my temporary employers, as one of the two roles that she's planning on playing for this whole event, it's important that she's able to act the part. So, Lynn Fries is a very dutiful, very eager chef. She has to make sure that she's got everything prepared, even as she makes a very special batch of very prune-heavy treats for the event.
Okay.
And then outside of that, you have to practice the one-liners, you have to practice the riz. Because, she's not just going to be showing up as Lynn Fries, she's also, of course, got to find some time to show up as Professor Feng-chen.
So you're bringing multiple disguises?
Yes, she's planning on doing sort of a reversible outfit affair to this.
That might as well happen. Okay, yeah, you get you start cooking, practicing your disguises. With this, you can all reconvene. And now at this point, Feng and Nafisa have functional invites. Nafisa has a closer to a real invite because she's not a caterer, so she can at least do stuff at the party without it being obnoxious. But
You've got a press badge.
Got your press badge.
Hell yeah.
For the Escudo Gazette.
Get your bag, girl.
All right, so please feel free to relay your info. This will be your last time to chit chat before we fast forward to you doing the operation itself.
I got the job, you guys. Look, and she's just showing off the badge like a 16-year-old girl who just got her driver's license.
And
That's great, Nafisa. Now, how are you gonna get in?
I walk through the door. I say, "Here, I am going to take photos," and then I walk in. And I take photos, and I go, "Ooh, I want that," and then I put it in the ball, and then I leave.
Sounds great.
What? Are we incompetent, Soleil?
What do you mean?
They get like valid ways to get in there, and our best thought is, oh, go invisible.
Well, that's
What's wrong with going invisible?
I mean,
no.
they're legal. They're legally doing this.
One brain cell is struggling.
You will certainly find your own legitimate avenues of assisting this operation. It's not simply a case of this. We all have our own skill sets, I am sure.
Yeah, we've got like 24 hours before the thing starts. You could figure something out. Um,
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
I have one question about this invisibility business.
okay.
So we can't see each other, right?
Correct.
Correct.
How are we gonna navigate the place together?
I figure we just head to that back door. Meet there.
Okay, by any means necessary.
That sounds like an extreme way to take it, but yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is that good enough for you?
That's good enough for me.
Okay. Fung, you got yourself that hat of disguise. That's for you, right?
Oh, well, I imagine it is something that multiple people could use.
Fair enough.
do we have to worry about lice?
What?
No,
Scratches his head.
Yeah, what's nice?
Looks at like two animal people.
Your Nyx looks up at you, all scaled.
Yeah, I mean, I took care of animals. I know what lice is. Okay. Hmm. So you two are going to sneak invisible. I'm going to walk through the front door. I could, if you guys are in trouble, should you give me like a signal, and then maybe I could do a distraction, like, "Hey, I'm taking a photo. All the rich people here for the newspaper photo," and like they'll come for it and give you a
Can't
room,
much
right?
give a signal if we're invisible, though.
I mean, you can move stuff, right?
We can yell.
Just knock over a vase.
Yelling kind of defeats the purpose of
But,
invisibility.
I
don't
mean,
it?
it's a loud place. Who's to say who's yelling?
But if it's loud, how am I gonna hear you?
Well,
Perhaps is there some way that we could, not a stone of fast speech, but something along those lines?
I I don't know any of that magic.
You've never had a stone of fast speech? You've never seen one?
No.
Oh, it is a stone that you speak through.
I think I gathered that.
I just wanted to make sure.
But I mean, here's me and Slay are gonna go to find that door. We're gonna see if we can get it open. And then from there, if it's not in there, then we'll kind of sneak into the event itself, like into the gala room, and try and go from there, I guess.
Would it assist you to have access to the hat?
I think it might,
Very
cause,
well.
Roar,
cause
why don't you wear the hat and I'll be invisible?
well, no. But that doesn't help the fact that we need invitations to get in.
I mean,
My thought is that you can have the hat, and I'll just do what I did today and change into
Well,
somebody looking fancy. And you can change into someone looking fancy once we're inside of the gala itself.
That would work. I would
I
hope.
can also, if you're invisible, I can enchant you both, so you have an easier time sneaking inside too.
Be mighty nice.
I'm just worried about those runes. Maybe casting magic is like a big no-no there. I was thinking of asking if it was okay, so I could use thaumaturgy to make lighting for photos, but if they see me casting a spell or concentrating on a spell, maybe they'll get mad at me.
Um, Aurora, for context, would know that just based on fancy events, it is generally frowned upon for anything more than like very minor like utility magic. Things presumably like trying to increase lighting or something is fine, but like any other spell casting is generally a point of contention because anything can happen.
Hmm.
That's just a rough idea based on your own
Mm-hmm.
experiences.
Maybe if we had the dress.
I'll go back to that dress.
You said don't or I'll?
Don't.
Okay. Then maybe we just roll the dice and see how things work out tomorrow.
It would very much surprise me if they had this whole dispel magic field to stop us. Of course, we can't rule that out. But I don't know if we got much of a better solution.
Well, we get in first. Once we're in, we can adapt to our disguises, myself and Aurora, and we go from there. Because once we're in, we're in. They're not gonna. I feel like it'd be rather rude to be checking invites once you're already in.
Obs, from our
Yeah.
time scouting the estate, could I have figured if there were like any like magical lamps or something like that when you were setting everything up?
You would there's presumably lighting, probably electrical lighting that they're setting up. Or
But like magical items that like you wouldn't want, like oh hey, like here's like magical decor that like would be ruined if we had a dispel magic field up.
no, there's nothing necessarily like that for this. This seems to be a fairly conventional for for the initial 2 days out from the event itself being planned. Like there did not seem to be anything terribly glaringly magical being set up.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else before you convene or?
I feel we should perhaps establish some sort of phrase or code word. That way, even if we are not familiar with the disguises we take, we will still be able to recognize each other.
I mean, we'll have subtle I mean, I don't think I can disguise my scarf. I think I'll always have that available.
Oh, I mean more for the more magical disguise potential.
Well, Aurora's just going as herself, but fancy, right? I'll be the only one in disguise.
Oh, I was gonna be kind of I was definitely not gonna just look as myself. Trying to avoid any more bounties, if possible.
Would you
But
guys want to borrow some things from us that like we will recognize you both because you're carrying our things?
I mean, yeah, we can do that.
And Nafisa takes off her hijab and then the necklace that she wears and just holds them both out. Here.
I'll take the necklace.
hmm Just be very careful with these, okay?
Of course.
Dare I ask what the necklace means?
It is a gift from my parents.
Uh,
It's
You
a
sure you don't want to
stone.
pick something a little less valuable to you?
yeah.
I
You don't
mean,
know
if I
how
give
this
you,
party's gonna go.
it's the most like noticeable thing I have, though. I mean, Feng, do you have anything you can give them? Maybe your hairpin?
Oh yes, I have a few spares.
Put through Soleil's rat tail.
They're wearing matching like hairpins. Yeah, that works better actually.
Yeah,
Because what
I like
nobles would
that.
wear matching clothes, matching decor?
All right.
So you each get a extra hairpin from Fung.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Anything else? Or are we calling that
Oh
the
God.
planning session?
Is
Moving
there something else
forward.
you're worried about, Aurora?
Everything.
Wow, what could go wrong?
A lot
I mean-
of things can go wrong.
Like you said, you can run away at any point, right?
Yeah.
So,
So worst case scenario, let's just get this out on the field. I'm planning on bringing the ability to teleport at least myself and then one person 6 seconds later.
okay.
Also, just other ways to get to slow folks down,
All
destroy
right.
destroy any sort of objects, that kind of thing.
All right. That seems reasonable enough. I myself can bring along my own additional disguising spells, as well as extra invisibility, disguise, detect magic rather, identify, enhance ability if anyone is feeling particularly ill confident in their abilities.
Right. Well, anything else? We'll do it live.
All right, you do it
Oh.
live.
When we finish, we should meet up back here or at another inn.
I think we're running the fuck out of here.
To the train station?
No, we got that special spell that will just teleport us
Oh,
back
right.
to the house.
Oh, right. Okay.
We
Right.
do still need to meet up for that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
We should arrange on some sort of meeting point, though. Yes, that is good insurance.
If you hear any sort of shit go down and guards start yelling, assume it's us. I think that's fair enough.
Right. Where should we rendezvous?
Back here
Yeah.
works, and we just run back here, wait it out. Maybe pay somebody at the bar to say we've been here all night long, you know?
At the bare minimum, I almost just slipped into your voice. At the bare minimum,
I have
At
that
the-
effect on people.
at the bare minimum, I think this should be our place, like at least out front. Whether or not it's inside, however hot we come out of this. Feng, you're knowledgeable about heist situations. How well do they usually go?
Well, this would be my first in quite some time. But from my experience, I would say they've gone well. Fung, of course, not having actual experience performing a heist.
Plenty of research, though.
Does Aurora want to make an insight check, or is she just rolling with it?
She's just rolling with it. She's
Yep.
just thinking about how many crime dramas Feng probably listens to.
It is an upsetting number, I will say.
They always go so well in the movies.
Yep.
Exactly how we planned it is exactly how it's going to go. That's the rule, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that, we will enter D-Day, the day of the heist. Now, you are all being given your special resource that you all have 1 point of all according to plan. This allows you to intervene in a situation that you might not have planned for, which, based on the plan you have given me, is likely a significant amount of things. And,
Wow, okay.
and you have the ability to essentially do an out of the frying pan into the fryer thing, where you can get out of the situation, but it will come with consequences that may not initially materialize, but will exist. So just be aware of that. If there is time, if you forget something or you need to make a change on the spot, you invoke your all according to plan, and it was always that way, you silly goose. So you each have 1 point of that. I also appreciate the immense amount of effort put into getting in, but not into getting out.
Yeah, no,
That's the easy part.
Vec.
But yeah, so the day comes. You spend the day getting ready. Some of you doing your apparently your day jobs. I also like the idea of Nafisa trying to negotiate more pay, considering that she will likely not get paid at all from the photography job.
I gotta show up to the office and kill time somehow. Might as well piss off my boss.
But yeah, and so the night of the gala comes. You see the processional of cars coming up to the front gate. People being directed in. Fung, you're gonna be brought in through a back entrance where the help basically comes in. Where
Okay.
there's dozens of various servant staff and caterers and other just people presumably hired to do the various tasks of the event itself. So it's kind of it's very hectic. They check your credentials. I will allow Feng to make a perception check.
Okay. 17.
Okay, Feng, you do notice the gate is open for people, for the cars and stuff to come in. There do appear to be, 4 blood wolves at the gate, and one of them has what appears to be like a single lens, like goggle that she's wearing over one eye, that she is kind of scanning people as they come in, as they check the invitations and everything. Make an Arcana roll.
Okay. Is this the sort of thing that having detect magic on would help, or?
Presumably, but it would come with complications.
No, that's fair. All right, Arcana 15.
Okay. Because you are familiar with the spell detect magic, you know that this is essentially a lens of detect magic. So she is presumably scanning people as they come in. That you feel like if you would have detect magicked her, you would have been in her range as well. So, but that's just something you notice as you are going about your stuff. Nafisa, you could come in next. You don't get a car; you have to walk in.
Does Nyx get to come in with me?
She's your emotional support dragon.
My therapy dog, yeah.
So,
do I get to keep my weapons too? Do they check those at the door as well?
You will not be able to carry your giant fucking great axe.
Yeah, I would have left at the inn.
I presume, for simplicity, because you will likely be getting into a very specific combat, you can store them with Feng's bag of holding.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, you cannot come in heavily armed as a photographer.
Yeah, making sure. Only weapon dog.
Yeah, so you come walking up with you and your dog. You see the blood wolves at the door, kind of look you up and down. You show your press credential, the one with the detect magic lens. You feel, the magical energy tingle over you as she looks at you, but presumably you're not doing anything aside from just existing. So she doesn't make any note about it. And you were allowed in. Then we come to Soleil and Aurora. As you guys approach the estate, you see the things I have described. How do you wish to enter with your invisibility?
Oh God.
Aurora, make an Arcana check.
Well.
Yeah, I feel like these Arcana checks are here to stop us from messing up already. Okay. 14, it's not better.
Okay. You notice there is some active magic going on at the gate. That is the extent of what you know.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
That's it. You see people coming in. You saw Nafisa walk in without issue. Feng's doing a back way, so you didn't see her. But
And these are all 4 blood wolves at the gate?
yeah, it's just 4 blood wolves.
Question.
Yeah.
The staff entrance that Feng is going
Yeah.
through, that's a separate entrance, correct?
Yes, that is a separate entrance. There are 2 blood wolves at that entrance.
Is there also one of those folks with the detect magic bullshit on that?
Make a perception check.
All right. Ooh, I have a -1 at this.
Oh, no.
Would you rather me be
what do your
deceptive?
bimbo eyes see?
I would say if Soleil made the roll in my place, would that be okay?
Sure.
Would that be enough? Okay.
Soleil, you
If you
can
told me-
make
if you told me
the
what to look for.
perception.
They got any of those like lenses like what they got out front?
Fancy lenses, got it.
Okay.
17.
They do not.
Okay.
I don't see
Hell
nothing
yeah.
fancy about them.
Yeah, there's 2 blood wolves at the back entrance with the servants.
Okay.
But yeah, they do not seem to have one of the lenses.
So
What are you thinking?
I think we call a slide audible. I don't know those lenses out front. There's definitely some kind of detect magic going on there, and I don't know how much it could detect specifically in invisibility, but I'm not exactly wanting to find out.
Figure we
So
go the back way.
I think we go back way. Sneak in through that smaller entrance. Likely a bit safer. Okay.
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 All right.
You cast invisibility.
Yep.
Clock's ticking. Make some stealth checks with advantage.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. No, with advantage though for 14.
Okay.
17.
Okay. You both exceed the passive perception of the blood wolves at the
Okay.
back.
Thank God.
Dog.
Glad you're invisible with that advantage.
Me too.
But you guys are able to gain access to the estate. All right, so the event itself is happening. I'm going to go do around the table notes, of having each person kind of talking about what they're doing, and then we'll see how that goes. I don't know how loud this is going to be. 1 second.
Can I just add, since we're both invisible, so we can keep track of each other,
Yeah.
that at least for the time being, until we say otherwise, that they're holding hands.
Yeah.
So we
That's
can keep
cute.
track of each other.
All right, so you guys are holding hands. You have to dodge and weave various people who don't see you there as you're trying to go around while still maintaining holding hands.
Yep.
So we're gonna start off with Feng. Feng, you have gained access. There's trucks in the back that they're taking food out of various placements and stuff, and they're taking it into the kitchen area is kind of like the base of operations for it, and then from there you see people then taking it out into the gala itself. Since you arrived first because you're setting stuff up, you do notice that a lot of servants and caterers are already putting the food down before most of the people have arrived. Fun.
Yes.
So what do you do in light of that?
All right. So right now I'm still by and large in the back, not really directly connected to anything going on.
Presumably you're doing your job unless you decide otherwise. It's very generic, take food out, put it into places. Some people, are beginning to put the stuff into the kitchen for both the base of operations, as well as some people are preparing things on site for various dishes. So that will be a part of your responsibilities when it comes to it, but the initial phase is just putting food out.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to. I'm going to try to keep an eye on my specially made little treats, because those are going to be very important. It's important that they do not go to anyone I do not want them to go to.
Okay.
So I want to make sure those are separate in an area where I can easily access them, but where it won't be mistaken just for the casual aperitif hors d'oeuvres sort of deal.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can make a let me say a stealth check. And this isn't like you're hiding it necessarily, but you're putting it in a place maybe that somebody wouldn't first look to grab.
Mm-hmm. All right. So stealth roll. So am I technically wearing armor right now?
If you are not wearing your armor, then you are not wearing your armor. You have a special outfit, so I would assume since you're not doing the hat of disguise, you were probably not in your armor for this part.
Okay, good. So then that's a 21 instead of a nat
Okay.
1.
Yeah, it is sufficiently out of the way that it would be highly unlikely another servant would try and grab it.
Okay, that's a good start. Once I have a better idea of who exactly, or rather, when I'm able to get these treats out to the proper people, the guards in question, then I will be moving in to actually deliver them out. But for now, I think it's okay to just stick with doing my technical job.
Okay.
Keep a low profile.
All right, so as you do your job, Nafisa, you notice that, as you're entering with everyone, the majority of the guests, there's about 100 people present for the actual, attendees. There's a lot of characters present who will be noted, but you do see that there is, of course, the boxing arena that's kind of in the center of this courtyard, yeah, so there's a boxing arena in the center of the courtyard, which is currently unused. And you see various trays and stuff that people are chatting and eating at and stuff. What do you wish to do? This is all outside of the house, mind you. This is in a courtyard.
Are the doors to the house closed? I know you.
They're open because servants are coming to and from.
But I'm not seeing any guests go through, right?
No, the guests are not going inside.
Ah, okay.
Not at least currently. Maybe they will later to use the restroom.
But for all events of the evening, the guests should just be outside, right?
Presumably.
Okay. I'm going to start taking photos and noting if there's anything of interest, like perhaps a crowd that's like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a secret tour inside the house, or these servants are talking about something, I want to hear about it, and maybe convince them, oh yeah, I can be trusted with taking photos.
Make an investigation roll.
Damn. Maybe I should look at my skills and really just pick things that make sense. That's a 6.
Okay. So, you're taking photos and stuff. There's a lot of really cool looking people here. It's hard to look much deeper than that. At one point you see this enormous mountain of a woman. She's probably 9 feet tall, like a knoll, wearing a kind of dusky gray military uniform, and has a large industrial bionic arm for her left arm, and a ceremonial saber at her side. She looks quite rough and tumble, and her dress uniform is straining to contain her muscles and everything. And she is standing next to a somewhat hunched figure of a what appears to be a pangolin man with spectacles and what is best described as a front-based suit with a little vest. Because his back is, of course, this giant array of scales, and he's got these clawed hands that are kind of always doing the little pangolin, they're about to rub their hands together in dismay. And he is, he chit chats with the large knoll woman, and then you also see sitting by some of the hors d'oeuvres is a moth woman in a kind of white suit jacket and a green skirt. She's got one hand writing notes, her other hand with a notepad, another hand holding her cigarette that she's smoking, and then her fourth hand is holding a glass of champagne. And she's got a very wide-brimmed hat. Her wings are these light green that are kind of just draped behind her like a bit of a cape. And she just seems to be very kind of casually, somewhat boredly observing everything. You see the Count, his half-orc, half-elf, long pointed ears, the mismatched green and blue eyes of his Wild Hunt heritage, his shaved undercut on both sides, slicked back in a very like ornate Caecilian black and gold military uniform, standing next to a much taller than him hobgoblin woman. She's probably about 6'4". She's got the distinctive. Her hair is pulled back. It's black hair. It's pulled back into kind of this almost serrated fan like styling with gold gilding on her hairline as well as along her nose. And she is wearing the very fancy dress that I described to Aurora previously, with all of the Caecilian gold and black mixed with the red and gray and black of the Eisenstadt and stuff as symbol. And she's standing with the Count as they talk to people. You see a hellhound tiefling in a military dress uniform. Same thing with the black and gold of Caecile colors. Her fluffy tail kind of just idly swishing behind her as she has a ceremonial saber at her side, and she is currently talking to what appears to be probably the mayor of the city, a human female with a sash that literally says mayor across it over her dress, and there are what appears to be various Caecilian military delegates, as well as probably just a lot of other rich people. But those are some of the most eccentric ones that stood out to you.
Okay, would I have a moment to talk to any of them?
Sure. You have a moment to talk to somebody if you want.
Alright, see, as a young and upcoming reporter myself, news giver, I'm gonna go talk to the moth lady. Me looking up at Hobbs, I want to talk to the moth lady.
Well, I have a great depiction of this moth lady for everyone to see.
Yes.
Vesper, you don't understand. We have the intel. I'm gonna be honest, Hobbs. As I was noting your descriptions, the only thought in my head was a red circle around her tummy.
Rude.
It's not rude. I like it.
But yeah, the you walk over to the moth woman. She's I believe she's a bit shorter than you, but she is wearing heels, so she's probably about a bit taller in balance. And yeah, she'll kind of look over because you are a very distinctive looking person approaching her.
Hi there, I am Nafisa. I am here taking photos for and she does not remember the name of the newspaper. For the local paper. I see you two are also taking notes and have a camera. Are you also a reporter?
She slowly looks you up and down before taking a sip of her champagne, and one of her hands kind of just does a flick of the wrist and her pen and notepad disappears. And she then moves one of those hands to put a finger on her chin as she looks up at you. She's got these brilliantly glowing light green eyes in an overall in a sea of a discolored sclera. She has this just very much like a dark gray black sclera that these eyes illuminate from, and she gives you a smile you can see that she's got these serrated kind of canines which seem very at odds with the rest of her physique, but she smiles and then extends out her other hand in a kind of like an Oshante style thing in front of her towards you and goes, "Oh, pleasure to meet you. And who might you be, my little camera bug?"
Oh, I said it. I am Nafisa. What's your name?
Oh, Nafisa. Is that a bit of a Dragonlands accent I detect?
All the way from the Eastern Marches. Oh, and before I forget, this here is Nyx, and she just picks up Nyx like she always does.
The moth looks at Nyx and kind of does a she realizes you're not taking the hand away. She puts the hand away and kind of does it's wonderful to meet you, Nyx.
Oh, sorry, Obs, I would have also shaken her hand before grabbing Nick's apology.
Well, you shake her hand when she was extending it out, like doing the kiss thing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
she kind of smiles at that and kind of does a light shake back. She goes, it is not often that we see someone like you working for a small town paper here.
Well, it's only a temp thing, you know. As you travel, you need, resources and things, and you do the things you're good at for money. For me, it's taking photos.
Understandable, mi amor. Alessandro Vitali.
Alessandra Vitali, it is very nice to meet you. So are you also taking photos here, or are you
She snaps one of her empty hands, just kind of like does a little finger snap, and you see a kind of translucent green magical energy woman that looks to be like what I would probably describe as a younger version of this moth, but like in a very like newsy style outfit, kind of manifests behind her, and you see a camera appear out of magical energy in her hand. And she holds it up, and you see that as she blinks, the camera lens itself blinks, because it is literally her eye projected onto the camera lens itself. And she goes, oh, well, nothing of particular note has occurred yet, but I assure you I'll be snapping a few photos for my requirements later.
You're like really good at this, huh?
You could say that. I have a bit of experience.
Could I ask you for some advice? You know, someone new to news to someone who is very familiar with news?
Well, who am I if not somebody to help the younger generations?
Well, I know there's a lot of good news inside of that building. She just points to the fucking estate. But I'm not I don't know how I would get in, you know? I feel like I don't know. Are news people supposed to get into places they shouldn't be in?
She gives a very, like, wry smile, and she goes, when you are properly motivated in search of the truth, well, you'll often find yourselves appropriately placed when it's required.
And it's acquired. Okay, so something will work out for me.
What by
Wait.
chance are you trying to find as a particular scoop, mi amor?
It's now occurring to Nafisa that she's talking too much.
You see a very, like, manicured eyebrow raise as she asks the question.
She does the bad at lying tell of looking away and sweating. Nothing. There's just, something in there I want to take a photo of and, leave without anybody knowing I took a photo of it.
She kind of, like, looks like, are you seriously saying this right now? And then you see, like, she mentally processes it and kind of puts two of her arms over your, like, shoulder. And she leans in and goes, all right, Nafisa, as a bit of professional advice, as a, what I imagine is a burgeoning career in investigative journalism, I would recommend against telling somebody that you just met about your intentions to take a photo of something that is really, really important inside that house.
I think I should know better than that, but to be honest, things just sort of work out, and I tend to find people that are really nice to me, like you.
Well, can be a cutthroat business, so be aware that not everyone is as nice as me, and honestly, get on my bad side and, well, I'm not very nice either.
Don't worry, I do not like throat cutting. I mean, unless it was hunting, but I mean, you have a very lovely throat. I would not cut it.
Oh, a photographer with a penchant for throat cutting. What a combo.
I am a lady of many talents. Journalism may not be one of them.
That's become very apparent to me, my sweet, but I think that as long as your particular aspirations don't run afoul of mine, well, I see no reason why I should stand in the way of such potential talent.
Let me know if I can help in any way, like take a photo or do something to help you since you've been so nice. Just advice. If there is a big loud noise and things happen, don't go there.
She the camera's still in her other hand, and the faint spectral energy behind her is still floating there, and she kind of winks at you and takes a quick picture of you, and she goes, I appreciate the exchange of information. I'll be sure to see you again sometime, Nafisa.
No worries. It was nice meeting you, Sandra. Take care. Let me know. Oh, looking forward to seeing you on the big papers. I think we made a new friend, Nix.
As you walk away, you see her just take a couple more shots of Nafisa and just kind of chuckle to herself as she picks up her champagne again. With that, we'll flash over to Soleil and Aurora.
Oh boy. How can we top that?
Let's see what other future companion we'll meet on your end.
How can we be more foolish? Alright. So, we are invisible and holding hands.
Yep.
And navigating to the best of, I guess, really Soleil's ability to backtrack where that vaulted room is.
Okay, so you know that the vaulted room is below the basement level. So you're currently on the main level. There is a level above the main level, a basement level, and then apparently the secret level below that. You guys are coming in, presumably behind the servants, bringing stuff into the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make some perception or investigation checks.
All right.
I could have given you a map had you gone to the Shrouded Assembly.
Nonsense.
And an invitation.
Who needs a map with a 14 perception roll?
And a 5.
Alrighty. You guys are able to observe, you're basically near the, if this thing is basically an upside down U, you're near the end-ish of the right side of the U. And as you're looking around, Soleil is able to see that there does appear to be a staircase near the entrance to the courtyard, which goes up and goes down.
Alright, he's gonna gently tug on Aurora's hand and lead her in the direction of the descending staircase.
As you start going down the descending staircase, you notice that there are several blood wolves apparently patrolling about. And one of them does almost walk into you as he's going up the stairs from the lower level. Your previous stealths managed to get you to dodge out of the way. So you've probably counted about 4 blood wolves so far in your limited access to the house. in addition to the 2 outside and the 4 at the entrance.
So 6 altogether.
No, 10 altogether that you know of.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
So that's what you've seen so far. So as you go into the lower level, I'm going to need you all to make stealth checks again.
All right.
19 for me.
21 for me.
Okay. So as you've made it to the lower level, here, this level doesn't seem to be as actively used currently. A lot of it seem, as you're looking around, make perception and investigation checks.
Can't do worse than last time. Last time was a 2 and a 1.
I got another 14.
16.
Okay. As you're looking around, this appears to be a lot of baths and very, very nice upscale stonework baths built into the areas, sauna areas. There does appear to be oops, sorry, it's the wrong floor. Making sure I got this right. Okay. So forget what I said about bats. It's actually several bedrooms. Yeah, there appears to be several bedrooms set throughout this place. And down here, you do notice that there's about 12 blood wolves who are in various states of just kind of playing cards, listening to the radio, etc. This is probably their hub place is down here. Some of the blood wolves, you notice that there's probably 2 that have, there's 1 down here that has what appears to be a long saber, as opposed to the other ones, which have just a knife kind of sheathed on them. And then, of course, they all have the pistols under the coats and the shoulder holsters. And the one with the saber does appear to be dressed with he has a distinctive red stripe around his fedora, in addition to his pelt. And they're just kind of chatting and hanging out. Occasionally you'll see, 2 of them get up and go up, and then 2 come down to go set up shop with the others. But yeah, this is apparently their main area of lurking about. So now you're up to about 22 that you're aware of.
Oh boy. Two follow-up questions.
Yeah.
One purely being out of curiosity. Not that he got a good look at them in his initial encounter with the Blood Wolves, but out of curiosity, do any of them particularly look familiar to Soleil? He's encountered them before.
I'm gonna say on a 1, there isn't, because it's not likely, but
okay,
it was close. It was 3. No, none of them look familiar.
I figured that would be the case now that I know it's a large organization, but
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yep.
Second, are there any other passageways, doors, stairs around here, or does it just seem like a dead end with a lot of...
No, so this is it's a whole, it's like that U, but it's a smaller U. This is apparently the upper curve of it really is been set up here. There are many bedrooms as you're kind of walking about looking at things. And there is another stairway going up on the left side of the main entrance, as opposed to the one you took on the right side coming down. And so there's a lot of rooms down here. None of them seem to be of nothing glaring about them aside from being rich people bedrooms. They're a lot of guest rooms, it seems. You see portraits of presumably the family kind of set up, and you go to approximately the area that Nafisa had indicated, and there are 4 blood wolves specifically sitting in that area. but you don't see any doors going down, which is odd.
My thought is to wait to see if anything happens in this area, because if there's 4 people guarding nothing, something is going on.
A reasonable assumption.
Right.
Yeah. Can I...
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't think this would be an investigation because we can't look too close, but, like, does anything look odd about the surrounding area?
You, just like looking at it, you already did your investigation.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that is odd is the fact that there are 4 people basically guarding nothing. So, based on just a normal investigation / perception, you don't think you're necessarily gonna pick up anything new here.
Okay.
I think that Soleil is going to give Aurora's hand a gentle squeeze and pull her next to him and like back themselves up against like a blank piece of wall and just give her a little tap on her hand to like signal to wait a moment.
Okay. I think Aurora's probably blushing internally a little bit, basically being pulled against a wall.
Not like that. Both of our backs are against the wall.
Wall slam.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Time and place. Time and place.
They're gonna fucking hook up again against after the heist, aren't they?
100%.
And yeah, with that, we'll hang around for a few minutes and see if there's like a changing of the guards or anything odd or suspicious happening with these 4.
Okay. For a few minutes, no, they don't seem to be doing anything particularly random. You know, they chat with each other. You know, it's one of the things people realize about guarding stuff is that it is the most boring activity ever until it is not. So you know, there's kind of chit chatting and stuff. You know, you can hear them just basically talking. It's like, oh yeah, you know, how's the wife doing, kind of thing, and goes, oh, you know, I think she's gonna divorce me soon. You know, she found out about, you know, the girl I had in Umbria, and it was like, oh yeah, I get that. You know,
that's rough, buddy.
That's why you gotta, you know, as much as you want to, you can't put a ring on it, man. You gotta. The job is just not conducive to it. And he goes, I know, but you know, she was my high school sweetheart. You know, I thought it was gonna work out better. You know, once I got outside of fucking, you know, Aurora Kamar, you know, there were so many more people in the world. And they just kind of go on about this guy's relationship issues.
No, I think we should hold on this. Let's see where they're going.
What's the hot goss?
No.
So
give me the deets.
So they'll keep talking
name?
for several minutes.
Let's learn about them.
So it depends on how long you want to sit here waiting. You do have an hour, and I will say probably at this point you've used 5 to 10 minutes of it. Probably about 10 minutes of it since you're stealthing.
Okay. What I think another 10, 15 minutes. What do you think, Lily? How patient do you think Aurora can be?
I think like you've guided her to this point, so she has full trust on you right now. Of like this is the spot, or else we wouldn't be waiting here, and kind of probably picking up a little bit of what you're putting down of like something is weird here, and she's probably just like essentially just trying to look for any sort of magical something or other that could potentially be like an illusory spell or what have you, just from her innate abilities, but is very much open to waiting like 10 to 20 minutes.
You know that you would... I'm going to let you do an Arcana check, but assuming you don't get a certain roll, you know that you'd have to use like Detect Magic or something to pick up
fine.
Anything. So,
I don't know Detect Magic, so this is what we've got. It's just a roll to see if we can get something.
Okay.
I haven't rolled well, so let's do good. 25.
25.
Yeah.
Your sheep sense is tingling. As you stay there looking at, just staring at these guys in this wall, You do feel, you're used to, you're stacking enchantments and everything. You do feel that there is that the press of magical energy coming from the dragon skull that a squirrel felt very, very strongly. To you, you feel that kind of against you, and it makes you think, like, wait a minute, that reminds me a lot of the dragon moms, but, like, less abrasive. And it does seem to be mixed with some other latent enchantments that seem to be on that wall. But knowing, like, what school of magic is tied to it or whatnot, you can assume illusion, right? But you have no way of confirming that without, touching it or casting something. So
that side is not important to
it is magical,
situation.
is like kind of what you're detecting, is that it is definitely a magical wall.
And I'm getting the vibe that the skull is behind it.
Or at least near it.
Near it. Okay.
You know that just if it's anything like the Dragon Moms, it can be projected out fairly strongly in an area around it. They suppress it when they talk to you, but it's still there.
Right. So, I think just to sort of help, nonverbal communication in this situation, Aurora will probably like grab Soleil's arm and just sort of point forward.
Can't see you point forward.
No, grabbing your hand to point forward.
Gotcha.
So you can feel it like pointing forward, and then get on her tiptoes, grab your antlers, and then nod your head.
Okay.
So sort of like her saying, I feel the skull is behind there.
You do also know, like, based on seeing down here, that a lot of the bedrooms are unoccupied. And so, like, if you wanted, you could talk there, probably. If you're being subtle, people might not hear you.
That's true.
Okay. I think that's a good plan. Let's scooch on over to an empty bedroom.
As you guys do that, we go back to Feng-chen. So, Feng-chen, what do you do now? The party is in full swing. You see the coming and going. You're cooking. What do you want to do at this point?
All right. Let's see. I still haven't seen Nafisa be able to make it in.
Nafisa has not entered the house. You can make a perception check if you want.
Yeah, sure. Give it a go. 15.
As you look out a window, you see Nafisa talking to a moth woman, and the moth woman takes several pictures of her before Nafisa, as Nafisa walks away.
Mm-hmm.
And Nafisa's cell seems to be out in the courtyard.
All right. Now, are the waitstaff themselves the ones that are doing the whole delivery of things?
Yeah, like, so, the initial caterers came and brought everything. There's now the waitstaff who comes into, like, the kitchen and grabs things and brings out and stuff. You're there with probably, I'm going to say, like, 3 other, like, quote-unquote chefs making things that have to be made on site. But there is probably 24 people that come and go from the kitchen area at any given time.
All right. I think this is as good a time as any to start making some moves with Operation Power Word shit.
Okay.
So I am going to take my Schwätzchen noodle, which is a recipe I learned from my mother. They are prune dumplings, except rather than one whole prune, it is just as much prune packed in as you possibly can. It's basically as much laxative as you can get in a food before it starts being technically considered poison. Yeah. And I am going to head out, and I think I would like to try to start with any security personnel I can. Like, if I could weave my way through the crowd to get to the area that I know is nearby the vault, I would love to.
Uh-huh.
If not, I'll take some of the other things along in case I get stopped. I can offer some things that are not going to make someone shit themselves.
Are you going into the courtyard or finding security people in the house?
Let's see. I think it would probably be easier to start. Let's start with guards inside the house, and then
Okay.
if I get away with that, or honestly, if I don't get away with that, I'll probably start looking at outside, at least to secure a exit route.
Okay. Make a deception or persuasion check.
All right. Let's see. I mean, I've got to ask, can I make an argument for performance on any of these rolls?
I would just say for offering food to people, no, that's not a
That's fine.
performance thing.
All right.
In your current guise, just offering people food is not really performative.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So you said deception or persuasion?
Yeah.
All right, same modifier, so let's just go with persuasion.
Okay.
17.
Okay. Yeah, so as you wander about, a guard will one of the blood wolves will walk up to you while you're still on the main level, because he sees you like going towards maybe one of the stairways down, since you know the vault is likely lower, and he kind of goes, "Hey, where are you going?" He's probably bringing that into the courtyard.
Oh, mine apologies. I was just thinking that, all of you have been working so hard, and none of you have had a chance to have any of the food that we have brought for you. So I wanted to make something for the gods, the wolves, what have you, that are assisting us tonight.
Oh, wow, that's really kind of you. Well, I don't know necessarily what my alpha would say, but I guess what's one between us kind of thing. And he will take one.
I truly hope you like it. I have made some extra sweet.
How good are these dumplings, like, in their own right? I've never had them, so I have no idea what the context is.
I mean, they are meant to be a treat. Like,
Okay.
you can have them as, like, a dessert. You can have them as, like, a sweet aperitif. It's...
Gotcha.
You could even dress them up and make them, honestly, into kind of a meal in and of themselves.
Okay. So he goes, "Wow, that's real plummy."
Yes, there's no sugar better than natural sugar.
Well, thank you. If you see any of the other guys around, anybody who doesn't have a red stripe on their hat, they're wolves like me. I think they'd probably appreciate it.
Of course, I would be delighted.
And he will walk off.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume, like most laxatives, it's probably to be about 10 to 15 minutes before it kicks in.
Yeah, it's certainly not like an instantaneous thing. It would take anywhere from like 10 to 30 minutes, maybe an hour if you have very strong constitutions in the non-capital C constitution.
Yeah. So you now have that on timer. for at least one guard.
I'll take it.
Where do you want to go now at this point?
Let's see. I've gotten as close as I can to the security guards by the vault.
So you want to go into the lower level now?
I mean, if possible, I would not say no to it, but like, if like the first time that I get sternly told no, you're not allowed here, I'm gonna be very obedient.
Okay. As you head into the lower level, shortly after you leave the stairway, you see, the 12, the 12 blood wolves with their alpha down there, and you're not making any effort to be stealthy or anything, so they will notice you, and the alpha is gonna approach you and be like, are you lost, miss?
Well, actually, I was wondering if I might be able to offer you something. It's my understanding that you have been stationed up here all night and will be continued all night, but you have not had a chance to have much to eat, so I wanted, on behalf of the wait staff, to offer you something.
Make another persuasion or deception check.
Alright. Let's give it a go. Another 17.
Okay. The alpha is kind of very hesitant at first. It's like, I don't really think it's appropriate, but the guys have been doing an excellent job, so kind of gestures to a couple of them and goes, "You 6. Apparently you're getting a treat, so enjoy." And 6 of the wolves will stand up and take the dumplings and be appreciative about it.
I am overjoyed, both in and out of her character. Like, this isn't completely a lie. She does like cooking for people.
And with that, you have successfully poisoned 7 guards.
I'll take that, and since I don't want to push my luck and be too memorable down here, let's start heading back up. Maybe check on the people outside.
Okay, Nafisa, you're first. You talk to the moth. What do you wish to do now? There's you do notice that there are 2 figures. One of them is wearing what you'd almost describe as like a comically costumed Ravenin like military outfit, and the other one is wearing a very like stylized Von Yaskin druid robe, and they look very kind of like uncomfortable at the party, and they're just kind of talking to each other, and you notice that the guy in the Ravenin uniform has a fairly heavy Leonese accent. But they're big, like, built guys. The Von Yaskin apparently is a Goliath and does actually have actual, like, Von Yaskin augments into them. It seems like he has, like, a set of, like, steel, like, lionfish, like, quills along his head, which is otherwise hairless. And he has various areas that appear to be, like, biomechanical kind of scales, like fish scales coming out of his skin in various areas, and his legs have been replaced with like these very much like clawed like, trying to think of what the word, like ostrich legs. And the Ravenin is a fairly bulky Gith, whose hair has been cut into a very like military haircut, and there's apparently shooting the shit. But aside from that, the party is still going, and what do you want to do?
And there's still no guests are going inside, right?
I will say at this point, about 15 minutes has passed. You see that there is a guest who goes inside.
I don't know, because I was just describing so many cool NPCs to talk to, but that's not gonna push the heist along. Did I notice Feng looking at me, checking in on me?
You were busy talking to the girl, but you can make a perception check, but
That's an 11.
nah, you didn't notice Feng looking at you.
Damn. I feel like I've been pretty stupid so far. Do I just talk to the count, you guys?
I mean, you can try. Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, sure. You know what? I'm gonna go take a photo of the count and ask him some questions.
You gotta have a picture of him for the paper tomorrow.
Yeah,
Right.
To celebrate his
Listen.
success.
And if I say something stupid, no one's gonna get mad at me, right? Yeah, let's go.
No, of
I'm gonna go
course
talk to the
not.
count and his hot hobgoblin wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how invested she is in staying married to him.
Well, I got you. Listen, I already noted the knoll for fucking Aurora. I got you, Fung. I got you.
The hot trans hobgoblin wife. So as you approach, he's just kind of chatting. You see he's currently talking to the pangolin man, who speaks with a very heavy Eisen accent, and the wife is just kind of being polite and just kind of sipping her champagne, and the head of security is kind of standing to their side, not really talking, just kind of standing there looking around. The big knoll woman is kind of just standing behind the pangolin man, not really saying anything either at this point. She appears to be very bored. But you approach and you hear, "Oh yes, it's very good to be here. I'm so honored that we finally get to see the return of so many great artifacts to our nation." As the little pangolin man is rattling off, and using one of his claws to adjust his spectacles, and the count smiles. His tusks have been basically covered in silver. As he smiles, perfectly white teeth. Has definitely had excellent dental hygiene, and he he smiles and says, yes, of course, we are so shamed by what my father did, and frankly, we think that it's best that they be returned to you, and it's honestly been too long.
Wait, who's saying that? Sorry, could you repeat
The count. The count was saying that to the little pangolin man.
Got it. No names. I'm going to walk up to the conversation with Nyx and exist right next to it until I assume they notice me since I'm me,
Yeah. The first people to notice you are the Knoll and Ernan, and as you approach, the Knoll will just very subtly, kind of much faster than you'd think somebody that big, she's about 9 feet tall, could move, but she kind of puts herself in front of you and looks down at you. And now that you're up close to her, you see how scarred her face is. Her lip has been peeled back because of it, revealing, all of her teeth are serrated. Some of them have been replaced with steel, implants. Her scars coming up and down across her face, along her eye. Her hair is, of course, a very brown hyena spotted. Her hyena-like ears have been notched in various places. Just chunks apparently been torn out of them. And she looks down at you with these very amber eyes, and she gives you a big fangy smile and goes, "And who would you be, little one?"
Hi, I'm Nafisa, and I hold up my press badge. I was wondering if I could take photos of you all and maybe ask some questions for the local paper.
She reaches down with her hand to look at your press badge, and she's gonna look you up and down, and she is going to. I'm just gonna roll a d20 and see how it plays out.
Oh damn.
Okay. She kind of squints at you a bit and goes, "So you are just a reporter then?"
I mean, I'm many things, but tonight I am that, yes.
I see. And she kind of looks at you and looks at your dog and goes, "Do you normally take your beast everywhere you go?"
Yes, she's family. I mean, do you take your family with you when you can?
Nine. My children are safely back in the Eisenstadt, being taken care of by the Union.
Oh. When was the last time you spent time with them?
Make an insight check, Nafisa.
Ooh.
Parental issues noted. That's a 14.
14. She's obviously not like a master of like control or anything. So you can see very much like a look of like a bit of pain, and she goes, "It has been a while. I've been deployed here, taking care of the ambassador for some time now, but I know they are very well taken care of, and I will eventually be able to see them again."
I know what that's like. I'm traveling the world right now, and I hope I can see my mama and papa at some point and tell them about all the things I've seen and done, and maybe give them some souvenirs. Actually, wait. Nafisa's gonna reach into her pocket and pull out the vial of the multicolored sand that she got from the desert on their way to the UFAS. Here, you can give this to your kids.
She kind of looks at him and goes, "Was is it?"
This is from the Prismatic Desert, out by the
Painted
Eastern
Desert.
Marches. Painted Desert, excuse me. This is from the Painted Desert over in the Eastern Marches. It's a very, very far away from here, but
Nine.
figured it-
She's kind of waving her hands in front of her, and every time she moves her left hand, you hear it like kind of slightly whir as she's doing it. And she goes, "Nine. I cannot take something from you that you have brought all the way from, presumably your homeland. I have just met you, my little Fräulein, but I will not need your gift."
I wouldn't mind it going a little farther to your homeland, but I'm sure your kids will appreciate whatever you bring back with them for them.
Yeah, I make sure to always send them various gifts I find for my deployments. Soon I will be sent down to Reno, and hopefully there I can find some more things to send them and have more interesting than simply attending these parties with the ambassador.
Oh, you're going? Do I? Nafisa would know about Renor.
Yeah, you know of its existence. It's a continent.
Yeah. Just make sure. But like, what I know about the lore.
Yeah, you know. Make a history check, Nafisa. We're gonna gauge how much Nafisa knows, aside from it being a southern continent.
Yeah, all right. I should be good at history. That's a 9. Fuck, that's a +5. Damn.
Yeah, you know it's a southern continent. Nobody really talks about it in any of your tribe who has traveled abroad. And you don't really know of anyone who actually in their journeys ever made it down there and back.
That goes on the list. Got it.
So. Yeah. So.
That's a really far away down south. Wait, where are you from again? If you want, I could bring a letter, or actually, could I take a photo of you? I could give it to your family when I see them.
You gotta raise an eyebrow and goes, "Isn't it obvious where I'm from?"
Lots of things aren't obvious to me.
I come from the Eisenstadt.
Eisenstadt. She like writes that in her book. And I'm sorry, how do I spell your name?
She stands up a bit straight and goes, and she'll extend out her hand and go, "Captain Clara Walden."
Captain Clara Walden. And then Nafisa will shake her hand before writing it down.
Fucking, you're a strong gal. You're like 18 strength, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is even stronger than you.
Oh damn!
Yeah, she
Goddamn!
You feel the grip a bit. It's been a while since you felt the grip a bit, but you
Hell
do.
yeah.
She is big barbarian. So, and she goes, well, it is good to meet you, Nafisa. No surname. Is that not unusual where you're from?
I mean, it's sort of like we're all from the same tribe and we're all kind of like family, so it's not super important. I'm from the Stone Dragon tribe, and let me open up Nafisa's document to remember what the fucking name was, because I had
The
them
name
all
you
in,
came up with.
I got them all in fucking Arabic. I'm sorry. But yeah, here, let me take a photo of you, and I can, if I find your family. I mean, I'm exploring everywhere, so I'm probably going there at some point.
How about you take the picture and I can send it to my children.
Oh, that would be good too. And then Nafisa's gonna line up the shot and take it.
She strikes
Take the shot.
she strikes a very imposing straight pose, very much like a stern officer kind of thing, with one of her hands on her dress saber at her side.
But sorry, I'm definitely gonna make sure the lighting is good on her face and the adornments. Yeah, on Hidar tribe. Okay. Okay. Here it is your photo. I'm assuming since you're here, I shouldn't be talking to the Count and I'm assuming that's the ambassador for Eisenstadt behind you?
Yes, that is His Excellency, the Ambassador, Eric Dreisen.
Okay.
But
Anders.
you apparently have the appropriate credentials, so I just wanted to make sure that you were entirely official, but it seems that you are indeed quite charming in your own right.
Thank you. You are very nice to talk to, too.
Well, I will not stand in your way of the pursuit of your journalistic endeavors.
Thank you, Captain Clara. And Nafisa will walk past her we'll walk with her into the conversation.
Walk overhead. The little pangolin going. Well, it is great to hear that then. Oh, yeah. Little chubby pangolin man. And Captain Valden comes up and goes, Herr Dreisen, this woman is from a reporting outlet and wishes to take a picture of the Count and you in honor of this momentous occasion.
Yes, I would like to take it for the local paper. If you would both indulge, honestly, all of you could indulge me. I assume all of you together would be a very nice photo.
The Count kind of when he looks at your credentials and stuff, he kind of narrows his eyes a bit, but kind of goes, all right, the fucking local paper. And the... One second. And so then he kind of goes, fine, this is for the paper, I guess we can take a bit of a pose. Shusu, please move over here. And his wife kind of comes in closer. And Hernan takes their various champagne glasses, and Clara, takes everything away from the ambassador. They both stand to the side because this is not their thing. But the Count, his wife, and the pangolin all kind of nuzzle up together for the photo.
Okay, and I take the shot, make sure I get a very good angle on them, take a few shots, one for myself, one for the paper. Oh, thank you. I was wondering if you would permit me a question. When will the auction take place? I want to make sure I'm in a good angle to get shots of everything.
The Count kind of looks at you and goes, what auction?
Oh wait, out of character. I forgot. I'm so sorry. I got this. Can I cancel that? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Apologies. Thank you for your time. Was there anything in particular you would like me to take photos of to send to the paper?
You can take photos of the people at the event, and I'm sure the exhibition match will be very photogenic. If you understand, Miss.
Oh, Nafisa, hi, nice to meet you. And she extends her hand out.
He kind of looks at it and goes, Miss Nafisa, I'm sure that you can be able to attend to it on your own.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I will make sure your best shots are taken and sent to the papers. Take care. And she'll wave bye to him very politely, and then wave back very nicely at Clara before leaving.
Probably gives you a big wave. All right.
That's a friend.
Anything else you want to do up here?
I don't want to take up too much time. I think I'm gonna slowly make my way, like, near the entrance to the estate in case, I get the feeling something's gonna happen.
Okay. Soleil and Aurora, you mosey over to a bedroom. You hear Feng talking to some of the blood wolves and giving them snacks. What do you guys do?
I imagine, for the sake of brevity, that Aurora would very quietly play her sheep senses tingling, and how there's some sort of enchantment on the wall. That being said, we have, you said there were 6 guards that were distracted by Feng.
Yeah.
Are we lucky enough that any of them are the ones by the wall?
No, these were... So there was the 12 guys plus the alpha in the one room. 6 of those got snacks.
Dang.
Then there's the 4 guys who are by the wall.
Dang. Alright, worth checking. Alright.
How far away is that central garrison from where we are right now?
From where you are, you can grab we'll say if you want to get the furthest most bedroom, probably about maybe 50 feet away.
Okay. Well, I think we probably would grab the furthest bedroom to discuss. So,
Alright.
full whispering voices.
Yep.
Okay. Anything you can do to get rid of the magic on that wall?
It's better if you don't actually whisper.
Fair enough.
Anything you can do to get rid of that magic on the wall?
I mean, destroy the wall, not really.
On my reckoning, it's easier if we just kill the 4 guards, but that'd attract some unwanted.
Yeah. So here's what I'm thinking: is if there's, and DM, feel free to jump in if we would know this. If there's if there's less guards out the other way down the hallway, then that's an easier way to get out. Cause I can really create a mess for them to chase us, if we can get a way out.
Well, if they're chasing us, we'd have to double back to the wall.
That's right.
I can... Look, I'm not much of a magically inclined person. I got some tricks up my sleeve, though. I can make... It's not often I have to use this sort of thing or that it's useful, but... I can make a cloud of darkness for a few minutes.
It's not a bad idea.
So if in the confusion of those few minutes we can somehow open.
if we pull all the guards here, then if we put the darkness cloud down, I'm sure the other guards would come on over. Then we'd have what, like 14?
Not if we get through the wall first.
You would know, just based on the fact you guys planned this a bit beforehand, that Feng's laxatives will probably take about 10 to 15 minutes to kick in to incapacitate the 6 guys down here.
Yeah. I suppose we'll stay a second and listen for any of the guards going to the bathroom. That'll be a cue.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if 6 people suddenly get up and leave, that's gonna...
It could
grab
pull a
their
few away from the
attention.
door.
They could. Alright, we'll hang tight for a few minutes.
Whenever that moment comes, well, we'll see what we can do, I suppose. I don't think there's going to be a clean way to make this happen.
If the 4 guys don't leave, do you want me to drop that bit of darkness to give us some cover? To give you some cover to figure out the wall?
I think I may just try and shatter it. Folks and all.
Damn, girl, you're crazy. Let's do it.
Is that crazy? I mean, it's just... I know these kinds of spells hurt the walls a lot.
Yeah, shit. Let's do it.
Okay.
Alright, for now, we'll hang tight. And we'll wait those 15-ish.
Okay. You're at about 40
Minute?
minutes of the invisibility so far.
Yeah.
Correct.
But it won't
Correct.
matter if you cast a spell, so... Okay, so you're gonna wait, and then you see the 6 guys go running off to various bathrooms. And Fog will see the one guy who's patrolling around also go barricade himself in a bathroom. Now, the first thing I'm gonna ask is, so now those 6 people are gone. What is it you're doing?
I think...
Does those 6 people collectively running off get the attention of any of the other blood wolves?
Not necessarily. Like 6 guys going, holy fuck, I'm about to shit my fucking brains out! Straining as he's running and stuff.
No one pieces it together.
The people are like, what the fuck? And the alpha goes, wait a minute. I gotta go find that servant.
Oh, okay.
And he grabs 2 of the blood wolves that are in the pool with him. So 8 blood wolves and the alpha
8.
are gone. So now there's 4
3?
normal blood wolves in the pool who are talking now, of course, about people shitting themselves. And then there's the 4 guys by the door who are now no longer talking about their romance issues. They're like, holy shit, did you see those guys?
Bro shit his pants.
The plus is that, this is quite an event. The downside is now they are now actively engaged with looking around because they now have been alerted out of their guard's torpor. So,
Yeah.
what is it you wish to do?
I think simultaneously drop darkness and a shatter on the wall.
Okay. So, with that in mind, we're gonna hop over to Fug because that's gonna set some
boy.
stuff off.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Fung. Oh, God.
So Fug, the time goes by. You see the one guy rush for the bathroom. What is it you do at this point?
I think at that point, I am going to be heading back into the kitchen.
Okay.
I'm going to be swapping the poisoned batch with the normal batch of Schwätzchennudeln. And I think I'm also, just for good measure, let's pop disguise self.
Okay, so you tip your fedora.
Oh no, I thought I gave that to someone for this.
Oh,
Didn't
you
I?
did. So this is you
Yeah.
casting disguise self. Sorry.
Yes.
What are you disguising yourself as?
You know what? I'm just going to be I'm just going to have this be a small little minotaur. Let's keep it simple.
Okay. So you're a short minotaur. How are you dressed?
I guess this would be the best opportunity to try and mix in with the rest of the crowd. So sure, let's. Gosh. Actually, I think I'm still good with looking to be just an employee here for
Okay.
now.
So you're gonna be a minotaur employee.
I think so.
Okay. You see that time, you see the Blood Wolf Alpha and two of his Blood Wolves come rushing up the stairs, and he flags down two more Blood Wolves that were kind of just idly patrolling the main floor of the house, and starts, basically shouting something. You hear like, fucking servant, poisoned us, finder, looks like this, and they start scattering, looking. Two of them will go over to the kitchen area, obviously, and begin looking about. Where are you going to be as they do this?
I mean, I think I am perfectly innocent in this. I see no problem with me just, preparing other food to be sent out. Excuse me. Can I help you, sirs?
Yeah, we're looking for a hobgoblin woman. She got horns and stuff like you do. They're gonna make a deception. Well, they're gonna do an insight check.
Would she have advantage?
Yeah, I'm giving you advantage because of your disguise.
Let's
Would
go.
this be a performance roll?
Sure, I will say this is a performance roll.
Yeah.
Be reaching for the fucking
Look.
unreliable.
Look. It is the only social skill that she learned as an autistic
You're
woman.
good. You're good. You're good, theater girl. Go for it.
25. So, what is your response to them?
Oh, I think I did actually see someone that just sounds like that. Last I saw her, though, she was supposed to be bringing something about, but I think that she was dressing as someone in your uniform?
What?
Yeah, she was dressing as a wolf.
God damn it. Alright, we need to alert everybody that we've got a unknown assailant posing as one of us, poisoning the guards, potential security threat to the whole operation. Set up the alarm system, and they go running off. What do you do next, Feng? Before we jump over to Nafisa.
Let's see. I think I'll head over to... I think I'll try to bring some of the food. Is Nafisa still outside?
Yeah, she's by the... she's away from the main party area, closer to the entrance.
Yeah, then I think that I will head over there and I'll just try to casually offer her some food as I bow over, make a note of showing off the conspicuous hairpin.
He just goes, ah! Okay.
You see a little minotaur woman.
With the hairpin. Fung, is that you?
I'm certain I don't know what you mean, but I'm sure that you are on the right track.
I feel like I have to roll for Nafisa to get that.
Oh no!
Make an insight check, Nafisa.
Oh my god, for fun.
Yeah, for funsies.
She will follow, but for funsies. That's a artificial 20. All
Yep,
right.
you know it's her. You see through it.
Oh, I see code, and I totally will go this path that is the right path, and Nafisa's gonna walk with Fong back inside.
As you walk past, you see the blood wolves at the gate start talking to each other, and you notice them begin to close the gate, and there appears to be quite a buzz, and you hear the words of like, "There's potentially an assassin about," and as they're setting all of that up, you do hear that the music transitions as you see the various guests begin to gather around the central arena, where you see the Goliath and the Gith come in, and a announcer briefs that, "Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming by tonight for this wonderful charity gala as we raise money for the children of the revolution. Now, to here tonight, we have a special treat for you all, an exhibition match embodying some of the greatest battles of our continent's history. Specifically, we are going to show the great battle between Imperator Titus Ravenus Augustus Ascensius and his Von Yaskin archdruid opponent. These are some fine pugilists. Perhaps we will reshape history here tonight. Now let's get ready to rumble!" And you see the outfits, or they kind of toss off the most of the Ravenin and Von Yaskin, costume stuff. They still got elements of it to stay the idea in character. The Count seems ecstatic. Like, he is so pumped to see this happen. And they start fighting, the Goliath and the Gith. And as that is occurring, we go back to Soleil and Aurora.
I'm just gonna note that Nafisa takes a photo of the whole thing from afar on the estate. Sorry, that was a cool description. Go ahead.
Do you initiate plan Darken Blast?
I'd like to call it Plan Charter.
Plan Shartness.
Okay. Aurora,
Kingdom chart.
please roll your damage.
Okay. 17.
17.
It's a pretty solid damage roll on that. Timed with the bell of the of the fight starting, of course.
Bell.
Odd or even, Aurora?
Oh, odd. Yes.
Yeah. Amazing.
As the bell strikes, you hear boom!
It's pyrotechnics. It's pyrotechnics.
As this broom goes immediately black and detonates, and you hear the walls fracture and shatter around you, and the four guards scream in confusion, and you hear some gunshots as they're firing out of the darkness. They do all still appear to be alive. Neither of you can see it, by the way, since you're both in darkness. But Soleil is still invisible. No, Soleil's no longer because he did the darkness. So neither of you are invisible,
Correct.
but you also can't see. So
They're still holding hands.
you're still
That's
holding
true.
hands.
Holding hands.
So you won't lose each other.
Canonically, they're holding hands.
You have the gunshots seem to be coming towards you. So you're presumably in the opposite direction as the wall.
Okay. Tam, are we? I think we need to fight our way through, don't we?
Yep, time to go. And he's just gonna drag Aurora behind him and barrel through.
All right. As you barrel through, you don't feel a wall. But you also can't see shit, so you don't know. But you do feel what feels like fractured metal behind the people shooting. And Aurora can distinctly feel that there is magical energy discharging. As you basically roll into a like a cellar in essence. And as you get down there, you feel yourself, kind of dive through, roll through some stairs, which have mostly been damaged in the shatter as well, before you're able to re-get your footing. And you are in a, there's electrical lighting down here, just a couple lights every now and then. And there's probably about a 15-foot hallway leading into a very large set of double doors.
Yeah, I think we're sprinting it.
Okay.
Yep.
You hear the screaming and shouting coming from behind you. Not like they're chasing after you, but like you hear that just chaos is ensuing. As you guys run, the double doors themselves are down here are unlocked, which is convenient.
Yeah, that is convenient.
As you open it, you see a 20-foot long, 10-foot high, black, almost crystalline, like skeletal dragon skull in the center of a room, where there is also various other, like, seemingly mementos, artifacts, etc., in, like, cases down here. And you notice there are also, like, some packing boxes for things that aren't a giant fucking dragon skull. But as you guys see that, people up top, you hear the bell go, and then you hear, like, a kind of a distant, kind of muffled, like, rumbly sound. And then, probably about 30 seconds later, you see some blood wolves come running out of the house, shouting to each other, and you see that the crowd is beginning to get very confused as the boxing match is continuing, and blood wolves are now beginning to coordinate with each other, and you see, Clara kind of gets alarmed and reaches into a bag of holding and takes out this probably 12-foot tall, giant, like, pendulum-shaped great axe. And you see the tiefling woman just snaps and this rifle materializes in her hand. And absolute bedlam is beginning to ensue. And with that, we will roll up here for tonight.
Incredible.
Did we mess up?
No, this is going.
You gotta go loud at some point,
It
right?
was a creative solution.
God.
So
Partnered with a man who does not value stealth.
We were stealthy.
Yeah.
So stealthy.
I got to talk to hot people.
You did. You had the best job of the night.
yeah, Nafisa literally just talking to hot girls. One day there will be art of Clara, trust me. I've sketched her before, but I want real art of her. But yeah, so that was our game for tonight. I hope you all had fun watching it. It was certainly fun to run it and see all this in action. If you haven't done so already, you should please go check out all of these wonderful players. They are all fabulous streamers or content creators in their own right. And if you haven't done so already as well, you should give me a follow here on Twitch, a sub over on YouTube, where I post up the VODs of everything I do, including all the episodes of this campaign. You can follow me on Twitter or Blue Sky, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. That will be it for tonight. I will potentially be back here on Thursday for more Fallout. I haven't decided quite yet because of the holidays, but it should be a good time. And then otherwise, we'll be back with more more Nexus Forlorn Legacy in 2 weeks as we see how the rest of this heist pans out. We are gonna go raid Wizard the Pig, a very cute little wizard. Definite oinking behavior, as he is currently playing Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. And so let's go send him some love. So if you're a follower, please copy down the call to hugs. If you're a sub, please copy down the knight's message. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Bye!
Bye! Bye!